Hello, everybody out there. How are you guys doing today? Happy Saturday. I am so happy to be here. Yeah, happy Saturday. It's. I feel like the weekend. It's always the best time of the week. Unless you work on the weekends. Sorry, it's probably not as excited as it is for me or some of us that don't work on the weekends. But hey, it's a new weekend. It's a new day for you to start doing better things or just try new things. Whatever you do at work, try to make the best out of it. Anything. But it's also a new year. Happy New Year to all of you guys. Cheers for the new year. If you are, you know what they say, New Year, new me. If you're part of that club, there you have it, man. Stick to it, make your goals come through, whatever your wishes were or are, in this 2026. I really, wish you the best in this, year. I don't know why I'm about to say it, but I don't really believe in that. I don't believe that, New Year, it's a time where you set up goals or the time where you get ready to start new projects or new things or new behaviors or whatever the case might be. I think any time of the year it's a good time for you to start doing better things. Any time of the week, any day, I think it's good for you to start making changes. But that's just a personal thing, and I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to say it. Hey, give me a break. Don't hate me. But yeah, it's today it's a great day to have a better have better manners at work. Say hi to the person that you see that's not having a good day. Just try to make him, try to make him a smile or something. I've tried that actually lately. Not, and that was before the New Year's. Honestly, that was you know, at work whenever I see like somebody that's like, it was like a challenge type thing that I, kind of just set myself for it because I was like, sometimes people they just look like they're mad, but you'll be surprised because sometimes those people turn out to be like so nice and so like outgoing and like very like friendly, and it's just like wow, you'll be surprised, like I said. And I've tried that, like, at work. I'm like, hey, like, how's it going? And they're like, honestly, it's a hit and miss. Some people they say it back, they way back, they say back to you something, and some people they're just like, you know, they just mumble and they're just like, yeah, like whatever. But that's okay. I mean, you took the risk, right? Now there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, blogs, podcasts, whatever you want to call it, I like to introduce myself. My name is Giovanni. I'm 31 years old. I am a 4-year kidney patient, and I'm going into my first year with dialysis. A year and 3 weeks, something like that. And I feel like I just wanted to come out here and support whoever's going through the same thing. If you're waiting on your transplant, like I do, if you're doing hemodialysis, if you're doing dialysis at home, whatever you're doing, I am here to support. I'm a big supporter. After, a lot of changes have happened, and you'll notice it. I mean, we all go through changes for many reasons, but like these kind of, the type of life that I have right now, it's just like, kind of like reset me at one point. And I do support people that, are going through tough times with their health, because it's like really tough, man. Not only physically, but like mentally, it's like huge because we don't get to see like the inside. We just get to see the outside, and we kind of like, we judge for what we see, but then we don't really look into the inside and see how everybody is doing or how somebody's doing. We just kind of like, oh, like look at him. He's like smiling. He's like working. He's like, doing these things. Oh, he's probably so happy. He's probably like, so healthy. He's probably X, Y, and Z. And reality is like sometimes we don't know what's behind those, faces, behind those smiles. But yeah, if you're going through the same thing, all I have to say is that you're a warrior. Naturally we are all warriors. If you believe in God, a warrior of God. um you can do it. You have so much power. You have, so much, strength in you that you have no idea you have that much until you really have to, like, really, stood up for yourself, because it's your health. It's something that you need to do better, and, help out. I think, help out yourself too, because, it's not just getting treatment and, live it up to the treatment. It's important too, the treatment, obviously, but, your the way you carry things is also a lot important. So, but today I just wanted to come out here and talk to you guys about the body signs I started noticing. As a 27-year-old guy, that, I felt like I had a really active life back then. I mean, I still do, not as much though, but, like, I still feel pretty active. But as a 27 year old, I started noticing things that, they kind of like, they were just there, but I kind of ignored them because I had no clue what that really meant. So I think it's important for us to know stuff like that. So yeah, if that's something that you'd like to know more about, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. I don't promise things, but, like, I just like to keep things, like, very, straightforward, raw. Don't sugarcoat it, because, I feel like, I appreciate people that are very honest, rather than, going around the bushes and, don't say things how they are. So yeah, I'm not, one thing that I always emphasize in my Spanish videos is that I'm not a doctor, obviously. I didn't go to college for medicine or anything like that. No degree, no nothing. But I just kind of, like, I read about health, and after I got diagnosed with my kidney disease, I kind of just, obviously, for your health, you kind of start digging into information about what affects, potassium, and, like, how your kidneys work, how does that affect your heart, and so on. So I just wanted to share things that I feel like they were important for you guys to know. And then again, if you're going through the same thing, you might want to, stay and just kind of, like, support. We all here to support. And but let's dive into it. I think the first thing that I remember, it was back pain. Like, I had, like, back pain, like, really often during the week, and I honestly, I ignore it, like, many times, because, like I said, I felt like I was very active back then, like, a lot more active than I am now. And, like, I was going to the gym. I was playing sports. I was playing baseball, and I was doing, martial art, like, kickboxing. And, like, I will take, and I just, thought it was just like, I probably just pulled the muscle, or it's just sore, or, anything, any excuse that will have to do with, like, being active. And then when I felt like, the back pain was, like, intense, I would just take medication, like painkillers. And not only that, but I also took ibuprofen. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that ibuprofen could be, like, really bad for you. I mean, if you take ibuprofen while your kidneys are not working, you're just gonna damage your kidneys a lot more, because, you know ibuprofen, it's like a drug that reduces blood flow in your kidney. I mean, in your kidneys. So you're already damaging your kidneys a lot more, and, your liver as well. I think your liver also has a lot to do with how you absorb medication. So I took ibuprofen without knowing or going to the doctor. So that was a really big mistake. Um, I try to, like, tell people that not to take ibuprofen because it's really bad. I tell them that Tylenol might be better. Ibuprofen, you can find it in Advil, in Motrin, and other things. If that's the brand name. But yeah, that's one thing. And I didn't want it to pay much attention because, like I said, I kind of, like, just thought it was something else that had to do with me being active. So I just had like really bad time sleeping as well too because my back pain and stuff. So and also another thing that I noticed, but like I mean it was happening, but didn't kind of like notice until after, or didn't knew what it meant until after they told me I had a like a kidney disease. It was that I every time I'll go to the bathroom and pee, like my urine was like very yellow, like brown, kind of brownish, and like it was foamy, like really really foamy, like like you pouring like a Corona on the toilet, and it was like that's a lot of foam. But I was just not putting too much attention into it until after they told me, oh, like you have this and that. So I was like, oh, and they told me like, do you have this going on? And they told me about my urine. And I was like, yeah. They're like, yeah, that's a sign. I was like, oh wow. So like I came to understand that because your kidneys are not you know filtering good. They're not working properly. They are not filtering your urine. So there's like a lot of protein going in there. There's like a lot of electrolytes. There's a lot of things that your kidneys are supposed to like filter. And since they're not working good, everything is going through the urine. So that's how that's why the foam builds up. So that's another thing. And also like I just needed to go to the bathroom like really like frequently. Every time I will be at work or even in the bathroom in the middle of the night, I was like, oh, like this is bad. Like I really need to go to the bathroom, like bad, bad. And so I go to the bathroom, and I'm thinking like because of the intensity of me needing to go to the bathroom, I'm like I'm probably gonna pee like liters or of urine, and it was just like very like almost to nothing. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's another thing too, that you have to go to the bathroom like very, very like frequently, a lot. I probably go to the bathroom like 5 6 times a day before my dialysis, and that was not normal at all. I just thought, I probably have to go to the bathroom a lot because I drink a lot of water, because I used to drink a lot of water. So that's also why I ignore it, because I was like, I mean, it comes with it, right? You drink more water. I mean, you gotta pee more, but I mean, it's not really like that. So, but then also another thing that I noticed, it was that I was feeling very tired, like most of the time, like exhausted, like out of energy. It was very, like, honestly, it was like a really hard time, like a bad time of my life before dialysis. It was torture. It was hell. I don't know how to describe it, because you want to keep. I mean, at least I do. I was trying to keep my life going and still try to live a normal life and do these all things that I'm used to do. Like being active and keeping a job, a full time job, and do bartending. Be outgoing with people and so on. And like you just have to go against being exhausted, and that's just like so much energy that you have to use, because you're like mentally, I was like, you know I'm not tired, like I can handle this, I can do this, even though I'm like I can go for a nap right now, like, and I feel like my eyes are like closing, and like I feel like I have like cut body, like my bones are just giving up. I think I can do it. And I was able to do things like maintain a full-time job and like a part-time job, go to the gym, and I'll do all these things. And while I was feeling like really exhausted, and I was like, that's crazy. Now that I think, I'm just saying, now I'm thinking about it and I'm like, that's crazy. But yeah, I was feeling really really exhausted. And I mean, it does make sense. I mean, when your kidneys are not functioning right, they are not producing red blood cells, they are not producing hormones. There's a lot of toxins, they build up in your blood, and so you don't get a good blood pump in your muscles, in your heart. And so, but another thing that I also noticed, and it was honestly, I'm gonna be really straightforward with you. But yeah, another thing that I noticed also, it was that I was feeling really tired almost all the time. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was like a really bad time before dialysis, because I was feeling exhausted most of the time. And while I was trying to keep a full-time job and also a part-time job and also go to the gym and also being a active person, socially with anybody that I had around, I had to like really work really extra hard, because I was like, you know, I'm okay. Like, I just have to get over with this, and then I have to go to take a nap, so I have a little bit of more energy. And or basically anything that I would do, I was like, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna take a nap. Like, I was just thinking of like resting or like taking laying down, and it's just like, you can't keep a life like that. Imagine living every day like that. Like, oh, like I just woke up, but as soon as I get done with that, I gotta take a nap, and I gotta take a nap, and you're just thinking of taking naps. And I was not having a good time, honestly. But anyway, yeah, I noticed that I was feeling tired most of the time. And I mean, it does make sense, because your your kidneys, when they're not working properly, they're not filtering what they're supposed to be filtering. Like, there's toxins building up in your blood. And so, like, you start producing red blood cells, you stop producing hormones. And like, there is uh there's a lot of oxygen missing in your blood. And so the blood that gets to your body, it's not as pure as you should be getting it, or as clean. And so you don't really feel good, because your muscles are not getting good blood. So that's how you feel tired when you have it's crazy, because also when you have, and it was not my case, but also some people experience high blood pressure a lot of the times. And that can also indicate, kidney failure, because it's a bit, like I said, it's a buildup of toxins in your blood. And so there's a lot of water retention, there's a lot of salt retention in the blood, you know um cholesterol, a lot of stuff. And so when the body is not able, or the blood is not able to clean all that, it's like your heart eventually is going to feel it, because it's going to start working extra hard. But it's something that I'm glad I didn't get it, actually, because I feel like that will be a little bit more dangerous now that because anything that has to do with the heart, I really feel like it's a lot more stressing than a kidney disease. I mean, I don't know, but like, just the thought of this, organ that's always pumping, it's always working. There's no rest on your heart. Like 24/7 is like, beeping, beeping, like pumping blood. It's like, you know, don't stress it for no reason. I mean, try to eat healthy. Well, anyway, don't stress it. And another thing that happened to me, and that's one thing that I really had a bad time in, and it wasn't fun at all. It was that I had a gout's arthritis. It's a type of arthritis. And it's called hyperuricemia, right? So it's like this. It's a lot of acid uric built up in your blood. And when that happens, there's like these needle shape crystals that build up in your joints, especially in the areas where you have low blood flow. And they hurt like you have no idea. Like, there's no, honestly, I don't know how to even describe the pain. But like, just think about, like, like a hammer, like a hammer with a nail going into your bones. It was bad, man. Like I don't know if that's how like giving birth feels like, and I do respect all that, and I don't mean to like compare or whatever. I know it's like two different things, but I'm just trying to like express how bad it was. It was really bad, and I started getting them in like my big toe, in my ankles, and it was bad. I do remember like so many times that I even cried many of the times, like because it was so painful that nothing like Tylenol was not doing a thing. Resting it, elevating, compressing, putting ice on it, and hot compressors were not working either, and I was having a really bad time. So that's also another sign that you have kidney disease, or one of the symptoms, because like I said, there is like acid urine built up in your blood, and you get these like arthritis. So that's really bad if you're having like toe pain, or you getting like ankle swelling ankles or pain ankles. You might want to check your uric acid. I think there is, and I'm pretty sure there is like ways to measure uric acid, also your protein. There's like this strip tests that they sell at the pharmacy. You can buy them. I think they're a little expensive though, but like, I mean, it's worth it, right? I mean, you invest in your health more than, I mean, I'm sure you invest in your car like that. It's also important, but like investing in your health is a lot more important. So yeah, you can measure your uric. I mean, I highly recommend you to like have low uric acid, because gouts are really painful. Like they do like, look at me. I'm trying to express how bad it was, and I can't. So yeah, there's these strips that you can use them. So, and like I said, the protein also, there's like a 60-second strip. Like it's like instant results that you can find them at the pharmacy. So might as well, right? But I mean, every person is gonna experience or feel the symptoms differently. That's how I do remember I was experiencing back then. Before dialysis. Obviously, before dialysis, everything was different. After dialysis, I mean, the main reason you get dialysis is just to like, you know, help your kidneys a little bit. Filter your blood and stuff like that. So ever since dialysis, a lot of things went away, and my lab results came like, I have constant checkups. So like I go to the doctor every month, get lab like get blood work done, and then go to have a one-on-one with my doctor every month. And all my results have been pretty steady, like very good, and I'm like really happy about it. And it's better to just be aware of things that you could do to help your kidneys, especially because it's not fun to live with a kidney disease. It's not fun at all. Especially, I mean, I'm already doing dialysis, and it's still a little bit of, you know, complications here and there, especially with my sleep. I feel like my sleep has been, I haven't had a good sleep in like a long time. And but I like to not complain about it. I mean, like I said, I like to go out. I like to find things to feel myself that I'm here at the moment. I'm here, like feel the water running, feel the cold, feel when anytime I drink water, I'm like, I am so blessed to drink water, because I mean, that's the main reason why I choose to do not hemodialysis, but choose to do peritoneal dialysis at home, because you have less restrictions. You can drink a little bit more water than what you are, allowed to drink in hemodialysis. And, there's like pros and cons of doing, dialysis at home and hemodialysis, but that's another video I'm gonna do for you guys if you like to know more about that kind of stuff, or if you know somebody that is going through the same thing, or just like to share this information with someone. Just share the link. If you have also any questions or comments or anything that you like to ask, just ask me in the comments. share this with your loved ones, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Happy weekend, and don't drink too much. Drinking is not good, actually, especially if you have kidney disease, obviously, because it creates inflammation. As it is, you're already. It's crazy how you can tell when, and this is extra, I guess. It's crazy when you have, you start noticing people that are on dialysis. It's you can tell by the eyes. You kind of pretty much start reading the eyes. When you see someone and look at their eyes, they'll tell you everything just by looking at their eyes. And I came to notice that people that are dealing with kidney disease or something like that, they have like puffy eyes. They have like eyes like, puffy. And I do have puffy eyes, and there's nothing I can do about it. That's what I said when, I say there was a lot of changes. I noticed that too. Also noticed that I'm not the same physically as I was 2 years ago. And it's, drilling my head, because especially for someone that used to go to the gym and, not being obsessed physically, but like I was going to the gym for something. Obviously we go to the gym to look better physically, right? Not just to spend time. But like now it's different. Like I said, it's a lot of changes. Now I go to the gym to just feel good, not even physically. Now I don't look at the physics anymore. Like I don't go to the gym and look at the mirror and I'm like, oh, like I feel like I need to do a little bit more back, because this is like, I don't do that anymore. My doctor said that's for the young bucks. But like, yeah, I mean, anything that makes you feel like alive, I think you should like really work into it. But anyway, I think I should go, because I have like to do a Spanish video. So, but yeah, like I said, if you guys like to know more about this stuff, subscribe and just give me a thumbs up. Leave any questions, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.